All right, so my name's Curtis. Which camera am I looking at? Am I looking at you? I'm sorry. Am I looking at you or am I looking at a camera?
You can look at me.
Okay.
You can look at me. This one's just a side profile,
Gotcha.
so this is the one you're looking at.
Oh, that's the sexy one right
Yeah,
there. Okay. My name's Curtis Monette. I'm an architect, kind of from East Palo Alto, but also kind of all over. Most of my family's in New Orleans. So growing up, like I said, my mom was military, so I moved around a lot. High school was interesting. So I played band, I was in band, but I was like the only black person in band, which is mind-blowing because in the South, like more people play an instrument than they play a sport, whereas out here it's kind of like nobody of color plays an instrument, at least not for the school band. You might know somebody on the side. So that was different. I was fortunate enough to be in a program, college track. And so that whole focus, everything was college focused. So you did have, everybody was there ultimately, had that focus. I wouldn't say I was like hyper focused on it. It was just something because I was a part of that program. I knew it was going to happen, but it was not like I was like, oh man, I can't wait to get to college. I'm going here. It was just kind of like I was a coaster. In high school, I was just, from the outside looking in, it seems like it's a tough environment, but personally, I didn't feel like it was a tough environment. I think it's more of a perception that's put on it. I think East Palo Alto has the same things that pretty much every other city that I've been around has. Like, it's small, but I think that actually affords the option of knowing everybody, which what I've learned over time is networking and who you know is just as much as what you know. I live by who you know gets you in the door, what you know keeps you in the house. So I don't feel like East Palo Alto was a tough environment. It was like, yeah, there's drugs, yeah, there was fights, there was guns, but I feel like that's every city that you can pretty much pinpoint. I love being from here and and that's why everybody wants to come and live here now. If you look at gentrification, where are they trying to come? Where is the housing market booming right now? I sell this house for $1.2 million right now and just walk off with cash when grandma bought this for $16,000. College was, I would say, amazing. I would say, granted college isn't for everybody, but that experience was amazing. So I went to Southern University. It's a HBCU, historically black college in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It was actually a shock for me. I had never been around that many black people at one time. It was definitely interesting. Me and my boy Allende and my boy Maurice. We were the only three that I know that left and went straight to a 4-year college out of our graduation year. So that was weird. So I actually studied architecture. So I got a 5-year degree, which is a Bachelor of Architecture. But I didn't originally go to school for architecture. I thought I had it in my mind I was going for architecture, but then my first year I actually was thinking more of marketing. And I got into some program that was just like to help you with college your first year, get you in. It was kind of in one way it was a setback because I could have taken some of my major classes that first year. But in the grand scheme of things, I think it set me up nicely for the rest of mine. So I ended up doing 6 years for a 5-year degree. A little bit of extra debt, but I think it set me up a lot bit nicer to where if I looked at how architecture ended in my last 2 years, or my last year or two in school, I didn't have the other classes that needed to go with it, so I could just focus on my thesis. So that was like a blessing in disguise. During college, had nothing to do with architecture. No, I did. But like during the school year, I worked at Best Buy. I was selling computers and installing car stereos. Sales experience, installation experience. So treat every job that you have with there's a skill in it that is going to be used that is directly transferable. I think the first internship I had was with the city of East Palo Alto in the building department. So I did that for I think 2 summers and a Christmas break. That's the biggest thing. When somebody puts you in front of somebody, you can't clam up and just be like, yes. You gotta be able to talk. And once people start to know who you are, they were like, oh, I think you'd be good here. Even with the city of East Palo Alto, I was supposed to be working with the police department. And so I was working behind, I think he was the Lieutenant Sibley. And we got to talking. And he goes, wait, you're in school for architecture? You don't need to be over here with me. He hooked me up at the building department. And next thing you know, that's where I was. I designed a park that's over in East Palo Alto in the back. It was one of my first ever projects where I just drew out the floor plan and the city actually built it. It's in a vacant lot. I would say if you're in college now, or even if you're not in college now and you're on your way, prioritize networking. Prioritize networking. I wish I'd have done that a whole lot more when I was in school. There's a lot of opportunities missed because I didn't go and just meet folks. And then finish whatever you start. That's the biggest thing. If you start it, just make it a priority to finish. It'll be painful. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it hurt, you know, but the moments that you get out of it, going through it, they carry with you. They make who you are. You know, they change your perspective, and you can always reference back because it's an experience that you've gone through.